Hey, it's Red here. So, this video is about pornography. So, there's a lot of debate about it, about whether it's something that should be acceptable or something that is taboo or inappropriate. Now, my thoughts are that I can see both sides and I can see where both the different arguments are coming from, but I think really that if you don't like it, I think if you don't like it, then just stay out of it. Don't say anything, just keep your opinion to yourself. Because to me, pornography is there for learning. It's there for most people use it to get off, let's be serious, but it's more of a learning thing. Like if you look at it like, if you are one of those people that doesn't have sex, if you're if you're a virgin, if you just want to know what happens during it, or you're mentally preparing yourself for that time that you are going to go out and have sex, and you want to know some things, what kind of things you can do beforehand. It's great for learning. It's great for seeing what kind of things you don't do, preparing yourself as to what things you might or may not be comfortable with doing once you get there. I think that it's really shouldn't be as big a deal as it is. Everybody or most people in their lives are going to have sex at some point. Parents, your kids are going to have sex at some point. If you want grandkids, you had sex, obviously. I really don't think it's something, I think it's not appropriate for younger kids, but I think as the kids start maturing and getting into their late teens, early teens, whatever, whenever you feel comfortable, I think that it's something that should be embraced rather than kept as a subject that shouldn't be touched. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna find out at some point. Everybody does. Everybody knows what porn is at some point. Everybody knows what sex is at some point. Most people have sex at some point. So I really don't see what a big problem is. I think most people that don't like it, I think it's because it's something that became publicized. Everything is fine behind closed doors. There's lots of privacy towards sex. You don't do it when people are around, that kind of thing. But then once it's publicized, like on the internet or in a movie, then all of a sudden it becomes a, ooh, that's an appropriate hush-hush topic. But I think that if more people were open to it, I think it would be I think there would be a better take on it than trying to cover it up. Do you know what I mean? Because it does happen. It's inevitable. You're gonna want to know what to do or something at some point, right? So I really think that porn isn't really a big deal. And then the other argument is whether or not, like, if you know somebody, or if you're going to go into being a porno star or whatever, if you're going into the business, you have the question of, do you think it's slutty or not? And I mean that as, how will other people take it? Like, do you know what I mean? You're gonna have to ask yourself, because on the one hand, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, that's a cool way to get money. You know, you get paid for getting laid all day, which is a pretty cool idea. You get paid for doing people in front of a camera. And I mean, a lot of people will think, oh, you know, they're expressing love, they're showing different fun ways of spicing it up in the bedroom. You know, there's a lot of good positive. But other people think that it's something that's slutty, or they think that also that if they're going to date somebody who's in the porno business, they're probably going to question themselves and be more likely to be to say, oh, well, what if that person had better in one of their sessions at work? You know, what if I'm not good enough, or as good as some of the other people they've done, or hopefully they're being protected. You know, they're having condoms or whatever, because I mean, some businesses don't provide that, and they set different people up with others who don't have protection, or you don't know where they've been last. You don't know. I mean, they may be really professional in front of the camera, but then once it turns off, where have they been? You know, who have they been sleeping with? So if you're going into the business, I suggest that you be prepared to date people that may question themselves internally whether they are telling you or not, and also be sure about who you're sleeping with. You don't want to give somebody else a disease, or you don't want to have one yourself, which is pretty bad. So in my opinion, I think it's fine. I think pornography is fine, and I think it's something that should be embraced, because I mean, most people have sex at some point. I'm 18. It's just how I feel. You know, I grew up in a house where, you know, we were really never taught about it. We weren't really allowed to look it up or anything like that. But I think that if parents would, you know, explain to their kids that, you know, it's not all bad, it's not all good either. You know, give them the different perspectives and let them choose for themselves what they think. So that's just my viewpoints. What are yours?